Russia has again launched the Ninja Turtle tactic in Pokrovsk, secretly approaching a series of Ukrainian positions, conducting surprise attacks, and recording initial victories. This attack is not like a massive artillery or airstrike. It is like a night ninja, sneaking into every alley, through the heat pipes, sewers, and exhaust pipes, and suddenly appearing. This tactic makes the Ukrainian defense in Pokrovsk have to work hard to cope. Today, the History and War channel will analyze in depth what led to Russia's return to using this tactic, the actual developments, illustrative examples according to the defense map, the results and overall significance, and finally, summarize the important points to make your video both interesting and accurate. 1. Reasons. Why did Russia use the Ninja Turtle tactic? From the article of Dan Tree, Russian Armed Forces, RAFS, once again successfully used the Ninja Turtle tactic in Pokrovsk, we have the following reasons. Urban terrain and underground infrastructure. Pokrovsk has a system of heat pipes, underground sewers, a complex urban infrastructure system with residential areas, high-rise buildings, pipes, drainage tunnels, heating pipes. These structures provide a network of secret underground tunnels where small assault groups can approach without being easily detected by ground reconnaissance or unmanned reconnaissance. The Ninja Turtle tactic makes the most of this infrastructure to infiltrate Ukrainian positions. Surprise and psychological advantage. By not using large, public attacks, but using small, secret groups, Russia maintains the element of surprise, makes Ukrainian defenses passive, unable to react in time, and at the same time causes confusion, depending on protecting each small point. Defending each exit, each basement, each sewer is not an easy task. If attacked from inside the underground system, counterattacking or pursuing is very difficult. Reducing losses and using small forces effectively. In urban combat, using large forces is prone to high losses due to air defense, artillery, UAVs, and mines. Small, secret assault groups are less risky, occupy important positions, and open the way for other forces to enter. Ninja Turtles are a tactic that saves manpower and equipment, important when Ukrainian defense forces cannot deploy guards to every hatch, every basement. Strategic influence of Pokrovsk. Pokrovsk is a strategic town in Donetsk Oblast, a logistics fortress city. It has an important position in transportation, supply, and defense routes. If Russia controls more important nodes or gains advantage in the suburbs of Pokrovsk, it can pave the way for coordinated attacks on industrial zones or advances to Ukrainian strongholds like Grishino, the eastern part of Pokrovsk, Mirnograd, etc. Battlefield pressure and the need for tactical innovation. After many artillery bombardments and strong attacks in which Ukraine maintained its defense line, Russia needed a different approach to break through the solid defense line. Ninja Turtles allow breaking through defenses from urban terrain, places where Ukraine has little underground control or good underground protection. The use of many small assault groups, coordination with supporting fire, night raids, using secrecy, all to overcome the wall of defense of Ukraine. 2. Real-life events and defense map illustrations. To make your video attractive, the defense map illustration is very important. Below are real-life events embedded in the map example. 2.1. Actual developments in Pokrovsk according to Dan Tree newspaper. Russian army successfully used the Ninja Turtles. Small raid groups secretly approached Ukrainian defense positions through heat pipes and underground sewers. They entered the western suburbs of Pokrovsk, occupied private areas in the northwest suburbs northwest of Pokrovsk. In the east of Pokrovsk, Russia occupied high-rise buildings in the Lazerny, Shakhtiarsky, and Yuzhny sub-districts. These buildings are adjacent to the Sobachevka district. If Sobachevka is lost, the defense of Pokrovsk will be much more complicated. The Ukrainian Defense Forces, AFU, concentrate their defense in the south of Pokrovsk and in the city center, in apartment blocks on Shakhtistroyatili Avenue. These are the main defense nodes and also places where it is difficult to access the underground and difficult to be attacked suddenly from below. 2.2. Illustration of the defense map. To build the map in the video,
You can divide it into two stages: before the Ninja Turtle tactic became effective and after it was successfully used. Here is a detailed guide to the map layers. Map composition. Pre-stage using the Ninja Turtle tactic. Stage after the tactic was applied. Boundaries of Pokrovsk. Drawing of Pokrovsk with the Luzerny, Shakhtiarsky, Yuzhny, Sobachevka, and northwestern suburbs. Ukrainian forces control the northwestern and central suburbs. Dark red marks areas captured by Russia, suburbs in the northwestern suburbs, high-rise buildings in the Luzerny, Shakhtiarsky, and Yuzhny. Blue for the Ukrainian defense zone, mainly the city center and the south. Sobachevka is a high-risk area if Russia continues to advance. Secret access routes. Draw gray or light yellow heat pipes, sewers, heating pipes, or underground infrastructure, drainage. Show manholes or access points that could be used for raids. Small arrows, little ninja arrows, from the pipe system point to buildings in Luzerny, Yuzhny, and the high-rise district near Sobachevka. Light-colored underground tunnels lead into Russian-occupied areas. Mark targeted manholes. High-rise and checkpoints. High-rise buildings in Luzerny, Shakhtiarsky, and Yuzhny are drawn but not yet occupied. Central apartment blocks on Shakhtistroye Avenue are marked as the main Ukrainian defense point. High-rise buildings in Luzerny, Shakhtiarsky, and Yuzhny are colored red, Russian control. The Ukrainian Defense Center is transferred to Shakhtistroye Avenue and the upper floors of apartment buildings. The loss of Sobachevka will be the next step for Russia to break through deeper. Attack directions and assault groups. Draw the usual attack points from the outside, northwestern suburbs, by land. Add secret assault points from under the heat pipes or sewers. Small surprise groups sneak in at night, approach the basements, hatches. Draw the assault point from Luzerny or Yuzhny to Sobachevka. Draw the retreat routes of the Ukrainian forces if threatened with encirclement. Ukrainian defenses. The defense map is evenly distributed. Guards guard many hatches, protect the basement, control the high-rise areas. After the Ninja Turtle attack, there are gaps, positions without sewer guards, lack of control over the basement, unprotected underground passages, focus on defense in the center and south. Reserve forces are mobilized, but with a delay. Draw high-risk points that Ukraine needs to be wary of. 2.3. Specific illustrative examples. You can build a model on the map. For example, the Russian assault group started from the heating pipeline system in the west of Pokrovsk, through the sewer to the private suburb in the northwest, broke into a small residential area, occupied a few houses, set up small posts. From there, they used the Luzerny high-rise building as an observation point and fired small arms fire at Sobachevka. While Ukrainian troops were in the central buildings, they discovered the raid through the sewer but did not have enough guards to block it. They were surprised in the evening. Ukrainian and Western media may know that after the Luzerny high-rise building was captured, Ukraine had to concentrate its forces on Sobachevka and Shakhtistroye Avenue to hold the defense line.
You can illustrate with a small cartoon. A ninja turtle, draw a picture of a ninja turtle wearing a half helmet, crawls through a sewer, climbs a tall building, then sticks its head out to shoot. Funny, but conveys the strategy of a surprise attack. 3. Interim results and battlefield impact. 3.1. Interim results. Russia has captured private areas in the northwestern suburbs of Pokrovsk and entered high-rise buildings in Luzerny, Shakhtiarsky, and Yuzhny. Ukraine is focusing its defenses heavily in southern Pokrovsk and the city center, especially on Shakhtistroye Avenue, as eastern and northern areas are threatened by underground raids and high-rise buildings are out of control near Sobachevka. Russia has created significant pressure and threatened Ukraine's key defense nodes in Pokrovsk with the possibility of further expansion of the zone of control if Ukraine does not quickly adjust its defenses and strengthen its logistics. Ukraine also released casualty figures. In the past 24 hours, Ukrainian forces said they had eliminated 890 Russian servicemen. The total combat losses of Russia from February 24, 2022 to September 11, 2025 are estimated at 1,191,890 people. In addition, Russia lost combat vehicles such as tanks, armored vehicles, artillery, UAVs, etc. 3.2. Strategic and frontal impacts. The defense situation of Ukraine became more difficult when high-rise buildings in Luzerny, Shakhtyrsky, and Yuzhny were lost. The visibility and cover from high-rise buildings were reduced. Sobakevka became highly vulnerable if Russia continued to expand. The defense center had to be concentrated in areas with good observation, protecting high-rise buildings and main roads. The Ninja Turtle tactic showed the high flexibility of Russian forces, especially in urban combat. Infiltrating through underground passages and heat pipes opened up a way to attack unexpectedly, which Ukraine could hardly prepare for. The cost of defense is high for Ukraine. The need to increase the number of guards, protect the exits, basements, sewers, trapdoors, previously unprotected points, which represents a dispersion of forces, reducing the ability to concentrate a strong counterattack. Psychological impact. The success of Russian covert raids will put pressure on the morale of Ukrainian soldiers and civilians in Pokrovsk, increasing the fear of surprise and reducing confidence in urban defense, opening the way for future coordinated attacks. If Russia continues to consolidate the captured areas and expand control of high-rise buildings near Sobakevka, on the northwestern outskirts, they can deploy from there coordinated attacks on Grishino and surrounding areas with a further role to encircle or isolate Ukrainian forces. 4. Comprehensive significance: political, military, humanitarian. 4.1. Military strategy. The reapplication of the Ninja Turtle tactic shows that the Ukrainian battlefield is still in a phase where tactical innovation is necessary to break the stalemate. War is not only about big guns and airstrikes, but also about the ability to penetrate, secrecy, and flexibility. Urban combat and urban defense have their own characteristics: high-rise buildings, underground systems, basements, sewers, high-rise windows, escape routes. If these factors are not well protected, they can easily be exploited. Ukraine needs to mobilize troops and equipment for underground protection, urban structure protection, and anti-submarine warfare. It can upgrade underground reconnaissance, sewer patrols, vibration sensors, sewer cameras, underground UAVs, etc. 4.2. Political and communication. Politically, Russia's use of the secret Ninja Turtle tactic has two sides. It reduces Ukraine's ability to report small achievements, because the loss of small positions such as private suburbs or high-rise buildings can reduce the spirit of the alliance. At the same time, it makes Ukraine need to seek more international support to counter surprise and sudden damage. In terms of communication, Ukraine and its allies will be forced to change their communication tactics, not only to announce major advances, but also to be more transparent about small lost positions, so that public opinion can understand correctly and support them more. 4.3. Humanitarian, civil, and logistics. Civilians in Pokrovsk suffer a lot. When Russia raids through underground passages, sewers, pipelines, private suburbs, disputed high-rise residences, civilians can be trapped, unsafe. The defense of the city with high-rise buildings can lead to heavy shelling, indiscriminately targeting civilian military targets. Logistics, supplies, medical aid are threatened. If Sobakevka or the apartment complex on Shakhtyrsky Avenue is lost or seriously attacked, the delivery of wounded, food, medicine will be more difficult. 5. Difficulties and Ukraine's response. Lack of guards and underground defense. The article emphasizes that Ukraine does not have enough guards for each hatch or basement. This is a major flaw when the Ninja Turtle tactic relies on underground exits, tunnels, and pipelines to access defensive positions without being detected. Difficulty in quick response. When there is a surprise attack from the underground system, the firing response from the defense unit is difficult to organize without prior information. Pursuing or blocking the escape route for the Russian assault group is very difficult if they retreat into the underground system.
firepower and manpower pressure. Ukraine needs to concentrate manpower to strengthen the defense of the center and south of Pokrovsk, which can make other fronts thin. At the same time, auxiliary equipment such as underground motion detectors, tunnel and manhole monitoring, underground terrain sensor systems are needed. Urban warfare is always costly in terms of human and material losses. Defending a high-rise building and dealing with a raid from the basement is extremely dangerous and complex. 6. Summary of main content. Russia uses the Ninja Turtle tactic again in Pokrovsk, secretly approaching through pipes, sewers, drainage systems, and heat pipes to raid strategic Ukrainian positions. The northwestern suburbs of Pokrovsk and high-rise buildings in Luzerny, Shakhtyrsky, and Yuzhny have been partially occupied by Russia. Sobakevka and Shakhtastroy Tyle Avenue have been designed as important defense zones that Ukraine focuses on protecting. Ukraine is facing significant pressure, lack of guards at sewers and basements, difficulty in pursuing the secret raiders, equipment and forces need to be supplemented. The initial results are in favor of Russia in many adjacent areas, opening up the possibility of a wider encirclement if Ukraine does not overcome it in time. 7. Long-term implications and prospects. The Ninja Turtle tactic could become a common tactic if it continues to be effective, especially in urban areas, prompting both Ukraine and its allies to innovate urban defense and train small forces to respond to underground raids. International policy could respond. Urban defense aid, sensors, technical support to detect underground raids. For Russia, success in Pokrovsk with this tactic is an important breakthrough to expand control, pressurize Ukrainian defense lines, and Moscow's internal media could use this achievement to boost morale. Humanitarian and civilian impacts will need to be addressed. Protecting civilians, ensuring supplies, treating civilian casualties, protecting homes and civilian infrastructure as urban fighting spreads. 8. The end. A call to action. If you've read this far and still haven't left your screen, hit like to prove that you care not only about bombs, but also about small tactics, because sometimes small decisions are big decisions. Share this video so your friends and family can understand. In modern warfare, there are not only tanks and missiles, but also ninja turtles, small groups infiltration, underground passages, basements that should have been heavily guarded. And don't forget to subscribe to the History and War channel so that every video you watch is not just news, but a tactical map, a historical story, a lesson for the future. Each subscription is a commitment. We will continue to dig deeper, analyze, and illustrate the map clearly so that you not only understand the overview, but also know each small battleground, each small tactic, like this Ninja Turtle.